Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. On my way to go get it as always, man. I hope y'all doing the same, man. On the road to 2K. I think we at the midpoint of that 1,300 mark, man. On our way to 1,400. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the Mob for making this possible. All right, y'all, let's really get into Ryan Garcia and exactly where he's at the 140-pound division, man. Getting straight into it, man. He just had a solid victory over Oscar Duarte, 8th-round knockout over the weekend, man. And there's been some good things said about Ryan Garcia and some bad things said about Ryan Garcia, man. Especially on my platform. We have been speaking on it on my last live back on Saturday night, man. If y'all didn't see it, go check it out. Me, Southpaw TV, Claymore Rain, the dynamic trio. You know what I'm saying? Go check it out, of course. But let's really analyze Ryan Garcia for the most part. If y'all didn't check out the live, man, for the most part, there was some things in that fight against Oscar Duarte that he was doing that he wasn't doing traditionally, or he hasn't been doing as of recently. You know what I'm saying? When he was with Eddie Reynoso and Joe Goosen and things like that, I seen him that he was using his jab more consistently. You know what I mean? Which is a typical Derrick James thing, you know what I mean? He's real big on the jab, as you should be. Is the most important punch in boxing. I would know that, being the boxing coach that I am. All of my guys are solid jabbers, you know what I mean? And that's something you definitely need in the toolbox. So Ryan Garcia was showcasing it, which wasn't bad. Wasn't the best jab, though, not necessarily. You know what I mean? I felt like there were certain times where he wasn't stepping enough behind the jab, and he had been reaching with it at certain points. And if Oscar Duarte was a higher caliber of a fighter, if he was a higher, like, you know, just a few notches above where he actually is, he could have taken advantage of that. You know what I mean? There was plenty counterpuncher opportunities that had presented itself, but he's just not of that cloth where he can actually pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Ain't no disrespect to Oscar Duarte. It's just levels to boxing, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, bro, he used his jab consistently throughout the fight, and for the most part, it was keeping Duarte honest. You know what I mean? What I also like from Ryan Garcia was that he showcased more movement. You know what I mean? Derrick James was telling him, man, you got to start using your feet, man, because when he's on the move, he's not punching. You know what I mean? That he only throws his punches while his feet are set, which is a great thing to point out from Derrick James, man. This is why, despite the couple losses and setbacks that he's had, as of recently, I still rate him as one of the best trainers in the world. You know what I mean? Not just in his city, not just in the country, in the world. You know what I'm saying? It was a great thing that he had picked up on. And Ryan Garcia actually listened, man, which is something that he doesn't usually do. You know what I mean? I think Ryan Garcia has a history of not listening to his coaches and feeling like he does what he feels is best at the moment, you know what I mean? Which is what I kind of thought of the Philly shell that he was doing, you know what I'm saying? The shoulder roll, whatever you want to call it. It was disgusting, man. He clearly didn't know how to use it. And against a higher level fighter, they will take advantage of that and clip him, you know what I'm saying? That's a dangerous move to be doing. And I don't think that's something that you should be doing against somebody who punches like Oscar Duarte. But nonetheless, he was able to get away with it, so, you know, he's feeling himself, you know what I mean? But with the movement that he was showcasing, man, I felt like it wasn't enough offense. You know what I mean? So he's learning things, but he's not capable of performing them at the highest level yet. Like, he was using his jab more, but it wasn't the best jab. He needs to continuously work on that jab, get that shit right. Once he's able to add that to his toolbox, like, and be extremely efficient with it, proficient in it, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to have trouble getting on the inside with Ryan Garcia, who's a tall, rangy fighter. When he showcased the movement, his movement was okay. You could tell it was frustrating Duarte at certain points, and it completely neutralized his offense for the most part. But he wasn't creating enough offense off of the movement. You know what I mean? So he's doing the right things. He's just not doing them at a high level yet. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it's good. I could appreciate the effort from Ryan Garcia. You could tell that he actually wants to improve. He has a different type of drive right now. He actually has something. He has something to look forward to. You know what I mean? And that's continuing to develop himself as a fighter, and his ultimate goal is become a world champion. You know what I mean? Now, do I think that he's capable of winning a world title in this climate, in the 140-pound division, which is probably the most competitive division in boxing right now, probably the deepest division in boxing right now? As of right now, I don't really think so, man. Like when we look at guys like Subriel Matias, I think Subriel stops Ryan Garcia. That's what I honestly think. Regis Prograis, I think that Regis Prograis will have a lot of success against Ryan Garcia for his defensive flaws. And being that he gets hit with that left hand a lot against southpaws, I think that'll play a part as well. Who else? Teofimo Lopez. I think Teofimo Lopez was styled all over Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? Despite him turning down that $1.5 million, I think that stylistically it benefits Teofimo, and he could possibly stop Ryan Garcia because of his defensive flaws. And he also showed a lot of defensive flaws in the Duarte fight, man, turning his back. You know what I mean? Just things that you should not be doing. Looking away from his opponent while they throwing bombs at you is something you don't want to do. Getting hit behind the head is something you don't want to do. Getting hit with a shot you don't see is what you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I had picked up as well, man. Felt like I should have added that in there since I'm in the process of talking. You know what I mean? But Teofimo, I think he styles all over Ryan Garcia. His best chance is Rolly Romero, but Rolly Romero, if he's the same Rolly that went up against like Gervonta Davis and guys of that nature, because it was a competitive fight, so he got sparked by Tank. You know what I'm saying? I think that Rolly will beat Ryan Garcia right now. That's what I honestly think. And he even admitted that he's still trying to figure himself out as a fighter. So while he's in the process of figuring himself out as a fighter, understanding that he has flaws and he has a lot of work to do, I don't think he's ready for the champions right now, man. I think that he should continue going over guys that he could learn from, like some solid level guys, but guys that are beatable and that he can actually learn some things from and just getting the rounds in. He went 8 rounds with Duarte. That's a good John. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he can get a few more under his belt if he wants to be in the best possible position to improve as a fighter and actually have a chance to become a world champion. But if the Rolly fight presents itself, you know, I'm watching it. You know what I mean? But he has a chance of beating Rolly. I think Rolly is insecure in his ability to take a shot now since getting stopped by Tank and then getting stopped in sparring by Joanne Ingram and stuff like that. I think that if he's going to catch Rolly lacking at any time, and that horrible performance against Barroso, man, if he could catch Rolly lacking at any time, the most vulnerable time for Rolly would be right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's my overall take on the situation, man. Ryan Garcia says he's still figuring himself out. And do you believe, and I don't believe he's ready for any of the world champions right now. I think that he's a tier below them, and he has a lot more work to do, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Is Ryan Garcia ready for a world title? Who does he beat? Who does he not beat? Y'all let me know in the comments below. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.